Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt and it is finally Fiendish Friday. Yes, folks, TGIF is finally upon us. Before I roll on to anything else, I do want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Please do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing each and every one of you every Monday through Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sorry, I don't know why I said Monday through Friday. I'm not doing a 5 day schedule anymore on you. At least right now, I'm not doing it. I am planning doing some other stuff here in the future, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And plus, I've been procrastinating a little. Hopefully, you guys forgive me. And then also do me a really huge favor and check out the description box. I put in some extra info in there for you to get a bigger taste of the daily film, and hopefully, it'll help you decide on if you want to check it out or not. I give you your brief synopsis, which usually I get from the back of the box. I'm not a very good writer. I will 100% admit that right away. But I definitely I try to give you the best synopsis I can find for it. I give you your starring cast, your director, runtime of the cut I am watching, along with an MPAA rating if there is one that exists, and then some trivia if I find anything worthwhile of mentioning, and then a link for either a trailer or a scene from the movie itself. So you do get a little bit of a much bigger taste. So hopefully it'll help you decide you want to check it out or not. Yes, now that I got all that out of the way, let's roll on to the film of the day. Today's came out back in 2001 and is none other than Fred Vogel's August Underground. Yes, this is the very first one out of the trilogy. I'll eventually review all the other ones. I'm not in any rush. If you guys have been around my channel for a while, you know that I don't do sequels too close to each other. Mostly because I don't want to sound repetitive when I do my reviews. Because honestly, some of the movies are so similar in style, similar in context that if no matter how I review it, they'll end up coming out pretty much similar, if that makes any sense. So definitely do look forward to me eventually reviewing those ones. So I'm not leaving them by the wayside. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, as far as this release goes, this is the 2 disc special edition release of it. As far as I know it's special. I don't know. It doesn't say special on it, but it's a 2 disc edition, both standard issue press DVDs, zero reversible artwork, which toe tag doesn't do that reversible artwork stuff, which is perfectly okay with me. I prefer this original artwork over everything that's been out there for it anyways. I don't know, I'm just a purist and I like original artworks more than reprint, or not reprints, but reimaginings or newly sanctioned artwork. Sometimes they come out pretty wretched. Return of the Living Dead Part 2 from Scream Factory. That has got some ugly ass artwork on it. I'm sorry, guys, but that is wretched. But I love the movie, even though I know a lot of people don't. But anyways, as far as special features go on here, you got a director's commentary. You got 2 commentary tracks, I believe. Yes, 2 commentary tracks. You got a August Underground, the reel for. Yeah, you get a hammer thing, you get an introduction, you get a trailer, you get 2 commentaries, you get a little bit of extra special features in there, so you're not going in completely bare bones. So it's at least nice on that aspect. Now, what exactly is it about? It's about these 2 serial killers. One is played by Fred Vogel. I believe was Andrew Lauer. I believe played the other one. I'm not 100% off the top of my mind. I can't remember now. But 2 serial killers. One of them is recording everything with a camera, while the other one does all the dirty work. Now, as far as how they are doing this, they're approaching this with several different styles of murder here, because they go not only for women, but they also kill men as well. They terrorize people inside of grocery markets, or like liquor stores and stuff like that. They torture these, or not torture, but they have these two strippers come in at the end that has a very weird, long, extended scene, and that whole sequence I feel is a little too long. A couple of the sequences are a little just okay. You got to get used to Fred screaming a lot, and the our other villain giggling a lot, because it is very repetitious when it comes to that aspect of it. Because I love Toe Tag's work. I love Fred. You guys do some amazing work there. You guys rock. But listen to you scream over and over and over again for an hour and 10 minutes can get a little annoying. I wanted to like this a lot more, although I do like this the most out of the entire trilogy. I wanted to like it even more because this one, when I was living in Pennsylvania years ago, when this first came out, I was going to the Tom Savini School, and they talked about one of the students there was talking about this movie and how sick it was and how gross it was and how far it pushed the boundaries and this and that, and and I finally tracked down a copy years later, and yeah, it does push the boundaries 100%. Right from the get go, like you have a girl not chained down, but strapped down to a chair in this very dingy basement, which is where they take all their victims back to essentially dissect them and torture them and do all kinds of other wicked things to them. Because, like with this girl at the very beginning, they've cut her nipple off, areola and all. They cut, or they have they're smearing poop on her, which is pretty fun, I guess. Uh, and then there's this magical part where our second villain, the cameraman, pours this beer all over her, and a pool of it goes up in between her legs, and Fred goes down there to drink it up and immediately regrets it. Uh, Starts spitting up a lot of shitty tasting beer. No pun intended, or pun intended. That's what I mean. There is a pun intended there. But you got them completely just devouring this girl, as far as being dastardly and villainous to her. And then you get another girl who is a hitchhiker, who is, she's just walking down the road, and they pick her up. Hey, I'll give you a ride, blah blah blah. I'll give you $20 if you show me your boobs. One of those ordeals. She eventually folds and shows them the boobs. They push the boundaries even further, like, hey, why don't you show us your junk? And then she eventually shows them her pubic region, and she does a little bit of a disappearing act with a finger. But she eventually is basically forced, not forced, but basically like coaxed into the idea of going out and giving Fred a blowjob, and then he'll give her a ride to wherever she needs to go. And they get out, and she starts to do her deed, and he beats the shit out of her, and leaves her there on the side of the road. Like the guys are if you can't tell by now that they're just really bad people. And this is all done in a found footage style, just to let you know. So if you're not into the shaky cam found footage type of film, this is not for you, because this is 100% found footage style. It's all done like through a POV, essentially through our it's all done POV through our cameraman. So it's a very interesting ordeal that you get to see. You never get to see like our other killer or anything. Fred doesn't take the camera at all. Now there is other killers in the universe when you go into the sequels, but we're not going into that yet today. Um, I feel like they pushed the boundary enough with having two active serial killers being friends at the same time. Now, granted, no, that is not uncommon, but it's one of those things that serial killers are very low key, very they're recluses essentially. Not all of them, but a good portion of them. They like to be reclusive in ways. They turn on the swagger and the charm when they want to look for a victim or whatever it is. They turn on that when they flip that switch and become a monster and decide to go out and kill and maim. This is definitely uh, 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 an interesting look into that. Now, as far as anything else would go, I don't want to really give away too much other than a girl gets a cut off toe in her mouth. A guy gets his leg is chopped or his foot is chopped off while he is dead, dangling from a rope, which is a brother to the other victim in there. And then, like I said, you have a terror a scene where they're terrorizing these people in a convenience store, liquor store, whatever it is. First, it starts off with just messing with the employee that's working, the cashier that's working for the night. He eventually gets to the point where he's tired of their shit, kicks them out. Eventually they come back in. They have two other people inside the store at the time, a boyfriend girlfriend couple, which I want to say that the boyfriend is played by Fred's brother. I think I remember something about hearing that through the commentary when when I watched the commentary track like a year or two ago, which has some interesting information in there, which I definitely recommend checking out the commentary tracks. I've only done I no, I've done both of them. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I did do both the commentary tracks. I prefer the director's commentary with Fred though. Now, as far as anything else goes, when they terrorize that couple in the convenience store, it's pretty funny. They make them sniff each other's asses, and they talk about carving fat off of them and stuff like that. And they just completely terrorize these people. It's an interesting ordeal. They eventually just walk out of there like nothing ever happened. They get in their car, speed off, and they get pulled over by the cops. They never, unfortunately, tell anything or show anything of what happened of that, other than you go on, like I said earlier, there's this scene with these two like strippers or prostitutes, whatever they are. They're not very. They don't look like well kept women. They look like women of the evening, if you know what I'm saying. They look like slatterns. Look, they look like they've been on a lot of drugs too. But either way, that's neither here nor there. It cuts into that scene, and like I said, there was a really long, extended, boring scene that involved them, all four of them, in this kind of a party environment where they got some music playing and the girls are getting naked and kissing on each other and kissing on the boys and talking dirty and getting extra like flirtatious and grinding on stuff and talking about doing things, like typical prosty things, prostitute things. I call them prosties sometimes. If you didn't pick up on that. But anyways, as far as any kind of ratings would go with this thing, on a technical ability, this thing it does what it does. It's not a technical masterpiece. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be a very grimy, gritty, raw type movie with no like. I guess that is unflinching and doesn't pull any punches, and it definitely does deliver on that end, which is very entertaining. It could be better on the acting aspect, but then again, we're not looking for Oscar winning material when it comes to serial killers, because I imagine they are not all serial killers are charismatic and good looking and can pull off everything like a Ted Bundy could. But now these guys aren't like a Ted Bundy. They are much different. They're much more. they're not more sinister or more vile in my opinion, but they're definitely very, very, very bad people. Now, as far as ratings would go, I'm going to give this thing a 5 out of 10. It could be better, it could be worse. It's kind of a middle of the road movie. I really wanted to like it much, much more than I do. Unfortunately, it falls flat in certain places just because of the annoying screaming and giggling, and that whole. Some of the scenes are, like I said earlier, a little extended longer than they really should be. Even though this only runs at an hour and 10 minutes, which is just under an hour and 11 minutes, but you got a nice a 1 minute credit sequence, so you don't have anything extra there. But an hour and 10 minutes, so that lets you know how much that I feel like this one could have been shaved down. I feel like you could have cut this down to an hour and called it good there. Keep all the gore, of course. All right, guys. So 5 out of 10. I think that's a good enough score for this one. Let me know what you guys think. I know I'll probably have a few people disagree with me. Don't get your hammers. I'm sorry. I just am not the biggest fan. I'm not gonna poop on it though. I'm not gonna poop on it. It is good for what it is. All right, y'all. Love your faces, and I'll see you all on Monday. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And as always,